we broke down your notes, your white, your black, the shapes of them, the colors of them. The next thing is scale. Remember Whoopi Goldberg, Sister Act? She was like, la, 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 la. And they was la, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. And then, the choir turned from a wreck to like winning competitions.
Right.
That was a part of a scale that they were singing. You don't have to be a musician to know what a scale sounds like. You've heard it. You've been in choir class. Like, JP, what is the most universal scale known to man? It's the major scale. What does it sound like? And around the world, some people know that as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? We're not singers, but, that's the scale. That is the major scale. And it's made up of either all white notes in this case. I don't think there's any major scale that's all black notes. Nope, not at all. No. Guess what? Because you need 7 notes to make a major scale.
Right.
And there's only 5. Remember, they repeat themselves, so there's only 5 unique, physical black notes. So you can't have a major scale. If it takes 7 and we only got 5, that means do some math. How many white notes do you need? Even if you use every black note, 5. So you're going to need another 2 white notes, even if you use all
Stay with
5. But there is a major scale that has all white notes.
Yes, and that's the easiest scale that any musician should know. It's the C major scale. So the C major scale is always going to, you're going to start from C and just go from C to C without skipping any notes, just like I did.
So if you say that you can't play the C major scale, we come into your house, and what are we doing to them?
And showing you that scale.
Because they went too fast. I didn't understand that it's all white notes. Now, I will give you this. The fingering for it. So say someone wanted to practice this tonight. They want to play scales till their fingers fall off. What would be the best way to practice the C major scale, which is all white notes?
Now, before I do that, I want to tell you guys that practice it slow, because if you're a beginner, your fingers probably aren't strong enough to kind of play it like I'm playing it right now. I have a lot of years of experience. So make sure you take your time, but what you need to know is that you're going to do 1, 2, 3. So that's your thumb is your first finger. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as we talk about the fingering position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay?
JP, I got a beginner question.
Yes, sir.
When I do it on my left, my thumb is always the same number.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no matter what.
So in this, it's backwards.
1, 2, 3. Your thumb is always 1, but it's backwards. But the same finger. So your thumb is 1. Your index finger is 2. Your middle finger is 3. Your ring finger is 4. And your pinky is 5. It doesn't matter which hand.
Numbers don't change.
Nope.
So how will we do a major scale on our right hand?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. And then once you get to the third note, you're going to put your thumb under to F. So let me do it slow for you. You see that?
Crossover.
Right.
Cross under.
And then do it back down. Now, I recommend that you get a metronome. Most smartphones, if you have a smartphone, you have access to a metronome. So this is good because it'll help you to practice in a certain time. So you can start off very, very slow, and you can actually track your progress because you'll be able to see how slow you started, and then you can gradually speed up.
It literally clicks.
Right.
And like JP said, you want to start it real slow because you want to do it at a pace that you can do it accurately. Because the fingers, it's not that the fingers, they say muscle memory, it's really mind memory. It's this mind-body connection that you get as you repeat the same thing over and over. See, there it is.
Done. So.
And BPM, that's called beats per minute. Literally, like if you had a clock and you counted 60 seconds, how many beats would you hear in 60 seconds? So 60 beats per minute is basically what a clock, like the hand of a clock, the seconds that's 60 beats per minute. So even if you didn't have a metronome and you had a clock, you could kind of visually get the time of 60 minutes.
Right.
I mean, 60 beats per minute, right?
And like I said, this is basically your time where you practice. So when you hear the metronome, this is the tempo that I would play the scale. And you can do it slower than this. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cross under.
And if you need to take a break,
because it's too much for you. It's too much
then
for
come
me.
back down. Okay? And you can do it even slower than that if you need to, because, I mean, one thing about being a beginner is that the thing that you have to get over is just the dexterity. And it's going to take you slowing it down. If you try to do it too fast, you're going to kind of miss out on the opportunity to really perfect what you're playing. So do it slow. That's the key to success.
Yep. Even slower than 60 beats if you have to.
Right.
And there's websites like freemetronome.com. Any music program will have one.
Or your phone, your smart, just type in metronome in your app store. I guarantee you'll see a lot of free ones too.
Yep, tons of them. So that's the major scale. The major scale is like the building blocks of songs. It's like it tells you where you are in music, because songs basically come from the scale.
I would say the scale is kind of like the alphabet in a sense, where like music is a language. So just like your alphabet forms words, your scales form chords, and your chords are like words. You know what I mean? So once you start to speak the language of music, your scale is the basics, like your ABCs that you need to put together words and sentences. So you can't write anything without knowing first your ABCs, and you can't play without first knowing your scales.
Yep. So we're going to teach you an easy way to form any scale. We taught you the easiest scale because it's all white notes.
Right.
But music, we didn't really cover this, but there's 12 notes. You kind of did the math on your own. There's 7 like white notes, physical white notes. And then there's like 5 black notes. If you add that up, there's only 12 notes you're going to hear on this piano. There's not, can I find a 13th sound on this piano, JP? There's not going to be a 13th sound. No. There's only 12. There's not going to be less than 12. There's not going to be more. Every song you've ever heard in the whole wide universal world has come from these 12 notes. Right. Okay, that means that there's 12 different sort of planets. So C happens to be like Earth. It's just one planet you can play in. Right. But the singer may not be able to sing in C. It may be too high or too low. Right. And so the singer may need to be in a lower key. What's lower than C? They may have to be in B.
Which has a totally different scale associated to it.
Because it's its own planet.
Right, exactly.
Like, for example, don't worry about learning this scale, but can we compare the sound? Don't even put the keyboard on there, because I don't want people to be like, I'm confused. Just compare the sound of the C major scale.
To B?
To B. Actually, oh yeah, that's the B scale.
Come on.
I thought it was. Now,
wait.
Now, how does that sound to the C major? See? So it would be like being in we could even call these different countries, because let's just say there's a way to say hello in every language, right? But if I'm in America, if I'm in C major, right? I called them planets before, now let's call them countries. If I'm in America, I say hello, hello. If I'm in France, you know what it is? I think it's bonjour.
Bonjour.
I might have to Google that one. Hello in France. But you get the point. That would be like being in B major, right?
Right.
I was right. But that's on, the Mac has a program called bonjour. Bonjour.
Yeah.
Bonjour. That would be like being in B major. It's the same hello, right?
Right.
But different language.
Different language. Well, it's
or different country. Same country. Language. Same thing that you're trying to say.
Right. Or I would say, like, it's kind of like you can be in a different county, but have different cities. So let's say, like, this is one county, but this might be a certain city like LA, this might be Burbank, this might be, different names, but all in the same county. Maybe that's not a good example.
I like who like country? Who like the country analogy?
Trying to be deep.
Well, I mean, the only reason I like the country analogy because we are saying the same thing.
Right.
Like the whole world is saying the same thing. We all are saying, I love you. We're all saying hello, goodbye.
Just in a different way.
In a different way. So, it's the same scale, but it's in B, right? So how do you play that scale? I want you to remember this. It's back to that whole step, half step thing JP was talking about.
Right.
Half steps are from key to key with no keys in between. Whole steps always skip a key with one key in between. Uh-oh. I think I know a song like this. That's a whole step, baby. And we digress. Just remember this. Why won't he wear white when hot? Why won't he wear white when hot? My wife told me this one day in summer. I was wearing black clothes. She was like, why won't he? She said, why won't he wear white when hot? And I said, you know what? That's how you do major scales. Because think about what's going on here. Y, that's a W. The first letter of Y is a W.
Right.
You have to go a whole step. So that's your whole step from C to D. It gives you the first note of your scale. Okay, Y, won't. Won't starts with a what? That's a whole step. So that means we got to skip. Do we go here? No, that would be a half step. We have to go. Okay, so Y won't. We got our first two notes taken care of with the Y won't. Y won't.
Come on, man.
It's the H, right? If your breath humming, everybody knows the H sound, right? That's a half step. Where's the half step on this keyboard? See, so we got our why won't he? Right? It's kind of tricky because it's happening in between the note. Right? Why won't he wear? That's a
whole step.
Whole step. Okay, why won't he wear white? That's the whole step. When? Another whole step. Gotta skip that black note. And then, hey, I had a tack, man.
Definitely hot.
I had a tack.
That's definitely hot.
Right? So basically the why won't he wear white when hot, it tells you why won't he do a mint when his breath is hot? That's not the formula. It's why won't he wear white when hot? Start on here and just do the why won't he wear
That's wrong.
white
That's wrong.
when, no it's not, hot.
That's a half. Okay.
Man, he off today. He off.
No, because you was doing it. I was like, you said why?
No, because it happens in between. Because the why won't he wear white when hot is the distance, not the note. So when I say why, I'm talking about what I'm about to hit.
Oh,
I'm talking about what I'm about.
Okay.
So let's go to G. So if I say why,
what is he talking about?
I'm talking about what's about to happen. What's the distance? So that's the A. Won't he? Now we got to go half step. Wear white when, this one's tricky, and then hot. So you can apply it to any one of the 12 keys and you have no excuses as a beginner. We're giving you the secrets. They're not teaching it like making it easy out there. They're making it hard. You got to know sheet music. Right. They're just giving you the form. We're trying to give you easy ways to remember this stuff because we know how hard music can be, but music can be fun.